I'm going to give you a little bit of a kind of a how-to on setting up your belt sander. Basically, when you get the belt sander, it has a kit with it. This has a valve and a hose for hooking up a water supply, and then the drain hose. And the drain hose goes on the back right here. There's a hose clamp. You can drain it to a bucket or drain it to outside drain. You typically, if you're grinding stone, you don't want to put mud down a house drain. It's generally a great way to clog a drain up. But then the valve mounts in the top here, and drips down onto the top of the belt, and then you get a good distribution of water on your belt. And then there's a felt wiper here. You can adjust that so it's spreading the water across the belt, which is very helpful, so you don't get a dry spot on your belt. And then basically on the right hand side, we have a buffing head, which is just a leather buffing head. You use cerium oxide on that. And then we have this complicated little mechanism here. Now in general, you're not going to have to adjust it very much, but this is belt tension right here. So if you have a tracking problem, you can sometimes tighten it a little bit. Where we set it at the factory is we set it so you're going to have the best starting position, and the belt should be running very true. So I'll show you on this unit here. Basically, if you look, you can see the belt's tracking really well. Now, the key to this is when we machine this hub, we put a little bit of a dome on the top of the hub. That makes the belt want to climb up to the center. Then the second thing is, on all this mechanism in here, it has to be machined really precisely and fit really well, because if there's any slop in this, then the belt will drift back and forth. If you ever have, for those of you who have had one of these units, the old HP units, the biggest problem that people experience with those is that things got loose over time, and then the belt drifts to the right, drifts to the left, or drifts to the right, and it can make you crazy. So this is your main adjustment here. When it doesn't have any tension on it, what you want to make sure is there's no slop. There's no slop top and bottom. So these two nuts here are for adjusting that slop. Then when I turn this knob, it's kind of easy to remember. If you turn it right, which is in this direction, clockwise as you look down to the top, right makes the belt go left, and left makes the belt go right. So if I turn it right a little bit, you see the belt start to, I use a fine thread on this so you get precise tracking. Now if I go back to the left, I make the belt track back into the center. So what's nice about this unit is it gives you very precise adjustment. You get really good belt tracking. Once you have it set, then you have this lever right here. This is your release lever. So you push down on this, it moves this spring, and you can change, it loosens the belt. As you can see, it loosens the belt. You just slide the belt off and change belts. So really fast to change belts on this machine, which is really convenient. And of course, you can run the silicon carbide belts, or you can run diamond belts. The silicon carbide is so inexpensive that it's really hard to beat it. Although for roughing belts or for real fine grit belts, the diamond can be nice. That's basically it. Obviously, when you set this on your bench, you want it so it's sitting pretty level so your water drains, or maybe if your bench has a little bit of a tilt in the front so the water runs to the back. But the drain's pretty easy to clear. It's a decent size. And there is a speed adjustment on this. Most people don't mess with that. It is a little bit of a pain to change the speed. Let me see, I have a unit right here. So this shows you it's a 2-speed. So if you look back in there, you'll see there's a step pulley on the front and a step pulley back on the motor. To change the speeds, basically, you have to loosen the motor mount, and then you change the belt from the big to the small, or vice versa. Again, most people like to run at just one speed. The other thing I wanted to point out, because this is really important, is we use this, it's like a phenolic material. It's really, really strong. And basically you could throw this in a pond and pull it out 10 years later and it's not gonna be falling apart. That's why we use this material. You know, the people that make their machine bases out of like wood or particle board just ask for problems. So we make ours out of this material. It's a little bit more expensive, but it lasts forever. So that gives you a feel for the machine and how to set it up and use it.